When the world crumbles, survival isn't just a challenge. It's a brutal reckoning of who's prepared and who is not, ending in death. This isn't about fear-mongering. It's about facing harsh realities and taking action to protect those at risk. This is Suburban Prepper. As a combat medic in multiple wars, serving with the 160th SOAR and the Army National Guard, I know death. I have stared at death in the eye, fighting against it. I know the smell of death. I know the aura of death. I know my enemy. As a registered nurse in the hospital setting, I have seen death creeping in, fulfilling its role. It is inevitable. As a nurse practitioner, I have had conversations about death and how we can prepare for death to go out with dignity and humanity. Diabetics face one of the most immediate threats in any extended crisis. Without refrigerated insulin, these individuals have only days to weeks before facing life-threatening complications. The modern supply chain that delivers this life-saving medication would likely be among the first systems to fail. Dialysis patients require regular treatment at specialized facilities with complex equipment and trained staff. In a breakdown scenario, these facilities may lose power, staff, or water supplies needed for treatment. Missing even a few sessions can lead to dangerous toxin buildup and death. Transplant recipients depend on immunosuppressant medications to prevent organ rejection. These drugs require precise manufacturing and refrigerated storage. Without them, the body's immune system will attack the transplanted organ, often leading to fatal complications within weeks, and death cancer patients undergoing treatment need consistent access to chemotherapy, radiation equipment, and specialized medical monitoring. Treatment interruptions can allow aggressive cancers to advance rapidly, while their compromised immune systems make them vulnerable to infections. The end result is death. Physically disabled individuals who cannot walk face obvious mobility challenges when evacuation becomes necessary. Beyond movement limitations, many rely on powered wheelchairs, oxygen concentrators, or other equipment that requires electricity. When the grid fails, their independence disappears. In the end, they result in death. Those with severe mental illness may struggle with decision-making, reality perception, or basic self-care during high-stress situations. Medications that help manage conditions like schizophrenia or severe bipolar disorder become unavailable, potentially leading to dangerous episodes and death. People with chronic conditions requiring daily medication, from heart patients needing blood thinners to epileptics requiring seizure prevention drugs, face cascading health crises as their conditions spiral without pharmaceutical intervention, ultimately ending in death. Severely obese individuals face multiple survival challenges. Physical mobility becomes critical for evacuation, foraging, or basic movement between safe locations. Additionally, obesity often comes with underlying health conditions like diabetes or heart disease, compounding the survival challenges. Face it, if you are too fat, your end is death. Nursing home residents represent a particularly vulnerable population. Most are there because they cannot care for themselves independently. When staff abandon facilities or supply chains break down, these individuals often lack the physical or cognitive ability to seek help or relocate. No one is going to rescue the resident. The end result is death. Prisoners face unique challenges due to their controlled environment. In a major crisis, correctional facilities may lose staff, power, or food supplies. However, inmates remain locked in place, unable to seek resources or safer locations independently. No one will come in to save the poor folks. The end is death. Inner city residents without transportation can find themselves trapped in increasingly dangerous areas. Urban environments become particularly hazardous when services fail, as high population density strains remaining resources while creating security risks. Those without vehicles or means to leave face deteriorating conditions with few options. The only option is death. In any true SHTF scenario, resources become scarce quickly. Those who can move fast, think clearly, and adapt rapidly have significant advantages. Groups requiring extensive medical support, assistive equipment, or daily medication face an uphill battle when these resources disappear. But there are also many other groups who are at risk due to vulnerabilities that might not be immediately obvious. The result of vulnerable populations is death. Elderly individuals living alone may struggle with limited mobility, diminished strength, and a lack of immediate assistance. Even if they are not in nursing homes, their ability to gather supplies, seek help, or protect themselves is often restricted. Let's face it, they were going to die anything. Just sooner, the result is death. People with respiratory conditions, such as asthma or COPD, depend on inhalers, oxygen, or access to medical support. Inability to get medications or clean air can rapidly turn critical. If you cannot breathe, the ultimate outcome is death. People dependent on technology for their health, like pacemakers, insulin pumps, or ventilators, become vulnerable if power sources fail, making it impossible to keep essential devices running. Death and more deaf individuals with severe allergies or anaphylaxis may face deadly situations without access to EpiPens or antihistamines. Exposure to allergens in a crisis could go untreated. They go into anaphylactic shock, resulting in, even for deaf people with addictions, might experience severe, even life-threatening withdrawal if their substance of dependence suddenly becomes unavailable. This not only presents a physical challenge, but can lead to behavioral instability as well. Death awaits. The result is death. Those with limited survival skills are at a disadvantage. Not knowing how to secure clean water, find food, or make shelter can quickly become a fatal gap in a crisis situation. The lack of skills results in death. People in high-rise buildings and those reliant on elevators or who live far from ground level may find escape or evacuation nearly impossible during emergencies. Death by elevator is still death. Individuals with limited financial resources may lack the ability to stockpile essentials or invest in preparedness, quickly putting them at the mercy of dwindling supplies and increased competition. Lack of resources equals death. Socially isolated people without support networks can also find themselves without help, shared resources, or critical information. Being alone and with no one to love results in death. We have learned that death is the ultimate hunter. These are the prey. In a grim way, even death brings forth room for new life, hope, and new beginnings. Alas, this is the brutal reality. Inaction leads to devastating consequences. Failing to plan ahead for loved ones facing these challenges ultimately leaves you unprepared. If you or someone you care about is affected, now is the time to act. Take steps today to give life a fighting chance while you still can. End result, a chance at life.
Check out my IFAC mistakes video next. It's my most watched for a reason. And for more real-world combat medical lessons, grab my book in the description. This is Survival. This is Reliance. This is Suburban Prepper.